Hey everybody, it's Andy Cloudy Mulder, and this is my effort at Nathan Metal Downunder's 400 subscriber contest. Congratulations, Nathan. Very well deserved. Just having a quick look at your channel now. I see you are at 432 already. So contest is doing well for you as well. Nathan has a great channel. I've known Nathan for a number of years now. He sent me one of my most jaw-dropping bits of VCLT I've ever got. It was a Japanese pressing of one of my favourite albums, Spread the Disease by Anthrax, and I'm still tingling every time I sort of look at it, and it's one of those things, you know, you're just never going to repay somebody for that. Not that Nathan's looking for payment at all. He sent that out of the goodness of his heart, and I will be forever thankful for that. Yeah, Nathan's in New Zealand. He's got he's probably a much broader taste in music than me, and he particularly likes the female fronted rock and metal bands. He's a wealth of knowledge, an encyclopedia of knowledge actually when it comes to female fronted metal. He also likes sort of the symphonic side as well, which really isn't my thing at all, but you know, that's the beauty of watching the different channels on the music community, is we get to know everybody else's taste. So if you are not subscribed to Nathan, go and check out his channel. I will leave a link below. He used to wear the pink wig, and he just brought it out of retirement for this contest. So don't let that put you off. But then again, it didn't put me off, because he used to wear it all the time when he started doing it. So there are a number of things that we've got to do for Nathan's contest. Let me just, they're written down here. Go to the channel, read it yourself, but let me read it out so it's you can see what we've got to do. So we you can leave an entry in the comments for one draw. You can make a video for two, and you can wear an oddity in your video in homage to his pink wig. So I've got my Welsh flag here. Now, whereas it's not an oddity in itself, in that it is the by far the best flag in the world. It's got a dragon on it, of course. The oddity is that Wales were recently in the Football World Cup, and what is not odd at all is we one of the first teams out and had a very, very poor performance. So I am wearing this as it's a bit damp actually from the tears I have shed from the defeat to England recently. But let's get back to the metal of this contest, shall we, and see if I can cheer myself up. So 4 questions in all. Number 1, what bands can you not get into no matter how hard you have tried? I showed a Deep Purple Machine Head in one of my last videos, and was greeting about the fact that I just couldn't get into them, and I've finally given up. Although I did hear Child in Time the other day, and I realised I do love that song. But anyway, I digress. This is bands that I can't get into. So Deep Purple is one, but I showed that recently. So I guess another band is probably Creator. I think I will get into Creator eventually, but you know, I've tried a few times and nothing's really clicked, and I'm not going out of my way to really get any deeper. So I'll go with Creator for that answer. Question 2. What bands did you used to love but you can't be bothered with now? Now, I've took this as bands that I was really into, and then maybe they had a change of sound and I couldn't get into the rest of the catalogue, but I still like the earlier stuff. I couldn't think of any bands where I used to love them but I don't listen to them at all anymore. So in this case I have chosen Wasp. Now, Wasp are a band that I loved the whole raw, slightly childish, debauchery, grotesque, all the sort of the shock rock tactics. I loved all this when I was a kid, and I still kind of love it now, just looking back. And then Headless Children came along, and it was a little bit more grown up, and I just kind of found it boring. And then Blackie sort of later on. The 90s stuff didn't really tickle me at all, and then they just changed the style, and they weren't the Wasp that I thought. I actually thought when it just basically became Blackie left, and he sort of changed the style, became Born Again. Great for him, but I kind of wish he hadn't continued with the Wasp brand, although I guess he built it up, so it's his brand, he can do what he wants with it, but it just didn't, I just never really clicked with it at all. So a long way of rambling, and it's still Wasp. Wasp, Last Command, Wasp, Last Command, and Inside the Electric Circus, and Live in the Raw. That's my Wasp, and that will always be my Wasp, and they're my go-to Wasp albums. There we go, question 2. Question 3, recommend me some female-fronted or female metal bands to check out. I've got a couple for you. Wouldn't surprise me if you've heard of these before, especially as one of them is Australian. But give it a go, because you do seem to know most of them. The first one I've gone for is this band, Tequila Mockingbird, and their one and only album, Fight and Flight. Now these girls aren't, they're not a band anymore. They've split up. They had numerous lineup changes, and this band for me was really, I knew I would forget the names, trying to find the names. Yes, Estelle Artois, she's the one in the middle. She was the lead singer and guitarist on this album, and she's got absolutely superb voice. So they replaced her with another girl who was a good singer as well, but then they just kept having revolving door of lineup changes, and eventually they seem to have called it a day. But this Fight and Flight album is absolutely superb. This here isn't actually part of the album. I saw them in Edinburgh, and whereas I got Estelle and Josie's signatures there, it kind of went wrong when it came to the drummer. What's her name? Josie O'Toole, the drummer. It kind of went a bit wrong, and so I got her to stick her finger in it. So I said it'd be better to have maybe a fingerprint instead of a signature. But this album is absolutely banging. Check out the song. I know these ones are on YouTube. I Smell Rock and Roll. Why Are We Still Friends? Jaeger Bomb. Half of a Man. Money. This whole album, start to finish, honestly, is fantastic. 13 great tracks. It says there are 4 bonus tracks on here, but there aren't any bonus tracks on here. And there's also a cover of the Ramones, Somebody Put Something in My Drink, and I saw these girls first time actually supporting Richie Ramone, who wrote that song. So there we go. Yeah, Tequila Mockingbird. It's not a band that you will be able to dive into with a big discography. I would just recommend this one and then probably nothing else, but a couple of EPs after, which are pretty decent, but this is where to go. Second band is a Spanish traditional metal band, and that is Cramp. I have a couple of their tapes. This is Wheeled Revenge. Yeah. Wheeled Revenge. And that's a picture of the lineup as was. I think there are only these two left in, the singer and I think he's the bass player. But this is excellent traditional metal. Very good stuff. And then their album, which came out a year or two ago now, which is A Gods of Death, is also pretty cool as well. This is on a lovely shiny gold cassette shell. And there we go. The lineup again. But again, only these two are left in, as far as I know. Hopefully they will get a full band together and start putting out some more stuff, because they are a band I would thoroughly recommend. There we go. Cramp. And the last question is, what album would you What album would you love to find under the Christmas tree on Christmas morning? I've really cut back on things that I want as grails. There's not too much out there that I mean. There's a lot of stuff I'd love, things that are completely unobtainable, but I'm not going to get them. So I guess one of my number one grails at the moment. I've got a lot of copies of the debut Iron Maiden album. I would love a US original press on Harvest. I'd love to find one of those. Probably unobtainable, certainly from the UK side at the moment, certainly for a price that I'm willing to pay for it as well. But if that was under the Christmas tree, I would feel that all my Christmases would have come up once on Christmas. Anyway, that's your lot, Nathan. Again, congratulations on the 400 subs. Please go out and check out Nathan's channel. I'm sure there's something there that you will find interesting if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon.